ever wonder, what exactly is my style? How do I even know what that is? And does that change over the years? These are some of the questions that I ask myself. I have been in love with fashion for as long as I've been breathing. And if there's one thing that's constant in my life, is change. I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly looking for new ways to grow and learn. And fashion is definitely one way that I continue to do that. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how my style is evolving, the things that I'm doing, the things I'm thinking about, and even how this kind of connects with other areas of my life. Hey, my name is Moyo. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am on a lifelong self-discovery journey, and I believe fashion is at the core of that journey. So this channel is about me sharing all of the ups and downs of my journey and how fashion brings everything together for me. I hope that you find something useful, or at the very least something you can relate to as you go through my channel. And I also hope that you can stay by subscribing so I can get to interact with you and hopefully hear about your journey as well. As a 28-year-old woman who is coming more into her own, discovering more about myself, about the things I love and the things that I don't love, I find that even my love for fashion is also evolving. I am in that phase where I'm just ready to do a complete overhaul of my closet, and also kind of connecting that to other areas of my life, like my mental health, my relationship with other people, and my relationship with myself. So as all of those things are evolving, I'm also thinking of, how do I live from the inside out? Well, I've always lived from the inside out, but how do I continue to show up in the world in the most authentic way? Even as I go through all of these changes, how do I continue to stay true to myself? So I just want us to discuss some of the questions that I've had in my head. I'm not necessarily trying to get to a destination with this video, but I just want to have a conversation around evolution, your late 20s, and as you're moving and evolving into your 30s, kind of what are the things that you know you go through. What are some of the hard questions that you're facing or you're challenging yourself with, and kind of just link all of that together with my love for fashion. Let's get to it. So I think I'll start off with talking about just the themes that I've seen in myself as a from being a young adult in my early 20s up until now, in my late 20s, approaching 30. So I would say early 30s were more like going with the flow, just autopilot type of living. No, there was very little thoughts given to a lot of the things happening on the inside. That's who you're becoming and how you're showing up in the world, just because there's so many, I guess, setting your stone down or foundation setting. That's the word I'm looking for. There's so many foundational things that happen in your early 20s that kind of distract you. Like, you're probably still in school. Like, I graduated at 21, so like, early 20s I was still getting ready to transition from being in school to becoming a working professional. And then you're thinking, what's the right career path? What does that look like? What company do I want to work for? And how do I go from being a student, a completely broke student, to someone that's probably gonna have more responsibilities, and will probably need to earn more money as well to be able to take care of those responsibilities. And then there's also from the perspective of friendships, you make some friends over the years, mostly through communal experiences like school, work, early career, and all of that, mostly through school though. Like, you just have that one thing bringing everybody together, and you find yourself just becoming friends. So early 20s, autopilot, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of things just kind of fall in place based on situation rather than active, intentional actions. How does that play into fashion and the way you dress? For me, I know that when I was younger, in my early 20s, it kind of played along with that autopilot. I wasn't giving much intentional thoughts to like my clothing or like my fashion sense. I was pretty fashionable, if I do say so myself, because I do enjoy dressing up. I've always loved fashion, like I said, but it wasn't to the extent of thinking, how am I showing up in the world by the way I dress, and how is it making me feel? How does it impact and influence my mental health? I just wore clothes. I knew I liked clothes. I bought clothes, and I also was more about quantity versus quality. So I wasn't thinking about, oh, what's the best quality to buy. It was just, oh, I like this, I'm gonna buy it. So that was what kind of shaped my style. I would also say that I consider myself an adventurer when it comes to fashion. I love to try out different things. Very few things are off bounds for me. I typically would just like try something I see that I like, and if it doesn't work for me, then I don't wear it again. So I would say that has stayed consistent even till now. But let's talk about what late 20s look like from an inside out perspective. Late 20s, I'm obviously done with school. I'm settled into a career to an extent, more like, mid-stage career now. And a lot of my friendships have kind of also evolved in the sense that everybody is kind of scattered around now in their own place. We're not necessarily being brought together by one unifying thing like school. So there is more like, you know, people are everywhere, and then like you have less distractions in the sense that there aren't a lot of things filling up time for you anymore. Like for school, you could, you're always in school, so you have things going on that keeps you distracted. So the distractions are a lot less now. So now in your late 20s, you're chill, there's a lot more time, there's, you know, probably a lot more money, hopefully, than when you were in school or when you were younger. And now you kind of have to be more intentional about basically everything. You have to be intentional about how you spend your time, what you spend your time doing, how you spend your money, and just even your friendships. You find that even though you have, like, I'm going to take myself for an example because like I know myself, and with being a 9 to 5 worker, you kind of have that space in time where you have the same routine every day where you're working from 9 to 5, and then you stop work, you have like maybe 4 hours of kind of free time to just do whatever. And then you mostly will have the weekends free as well. So there's now all of this time that you need to figure out, what do I feel those time slots with friendships as well. There's everybody's in their own space, in their own world, managing their own lives, and you have to kind of be more intentional about catching up, checking up on yourself, spending time together, planning trips to spend time together, going to visit each other, and all of that good stuff. That's late 20s. And now you're also thinking about who you're becoming as a person. You can no longer live on autopilot that you used to in your early 20s, because things have died down now. There's less noise. You see yourself more. You see both your strengths and your weaknesses, your flaws and your virtues are more highlighted, because there's nothing like that's actively keeping you busy, and you have time to kind of settle into yourself and say, oh, this is who I am. So there's this whole self-discovery thing that's going on, and then you get to decide how you want to show up in the world, how you want to interact with people, how you want to interact with yourself. How does that play into fashion again? Let's talk about that. So for me now, in just thinking about my style, I am starting to think more about quality versus quantity. You know, thinking more about longevity of my items, like how durable are the things that I'm buying, how quality are they, and I feel like I'm even much more. I'm thinking more about even how these items are being made, the types of companies that I spend my money with, that I support, and all of that are things that I now put into consideration. And my style starts to evolve in that sense of, okay, what when you see my closet, what does that say about me? What does that say about what I enjoy, how I, you know, love to show up and all of that good stuff. And that also plays a role in just kind of how I budget overall for like fashion stuff and my styling items. But I say all of that to say the core of who I am still stays the same. I'm still someone that gets excited by fashion in general, buying something new, going to the store, shopping online, and just the idea of being able to bring different pieces together to create something that's completely unique to me is exciting, is exhilarating. It gives me so much joy. And I've found the connection between that and even my mental health. Like, I am my best self when I look good. I feel my best self. I especially love the fact that just switching my appearance, changing my appearance, and trying on clothes and having different, playing dress up, like that stays consistent. I've always loved playing dress up. Um, all of those things lift my spirits, and that's one of the ways that I stay connected to myself. That's one of my most authentic spaces that I occupy in the world, and I'm so thankful that I get to do that. And I am so glad that the world has moved on from thinking fashion is this, you know, vain, superficial thing, because it's much, much more deeper than that. It's art, it's healing, it's medicine for the soul, if you know what I mean. Just the ability to express yourself in the way that feels most authentic to you, being able to show up as you feeling your best self, which is what I always tell people. Like, style is personal, it's something that's yours, and it's okay to continue to evolve it over the course of your lifetime. Like I said, I continue to find my style, I continue to discover myself. It's not a destination, it's a journey, and I appreciate the grace that I have to be able to do that, and I hope to do that even in larger scale. So I see my investment into my style as an investment into myself, an investment into my overall well-being as a human being, as a lady, as you know, someone with hopes and dreams. Fashion is a part of that. Finally, I am of the strong opinion that there is no amount of times you can reinvent yourself as many times as you want. Self discovery is a lifelong journey, and it's something that I hope to never stop doing. So, my channel will hopefully reflect that. I'll continue to share my love for fashion in so many different ways, through travel, through experiences, through some of these kinds of conversations where we just sit down to talk and share what's been going on internally and how that kind of exhibits in external ways. So I'm excited for the fact that I have you guys to share this journey with, and I hope that we can continue to chat in the comments. I would love to hear from you. How do you feel like your style is evolving? What are the things that are different between your earlier years. You don't have to be in your 20s, like even if you're much older. Like how have you evolved over time, and what would you say has like changed between now and where you were before, in terms of like generally speaking, and even more specifically with your style? I would love to hear from you. And I really do hope that you can subscribe to my channel, and thumbs up if you find this video useful. I'd love to have you as part of my friend, my internet friend group. Thank you for sticking with me, and see you later. Bye.